Once again, Dak Prescott has been disrespected, but this time it's directly from NFL decision makers. Let's get to it. What's up, everyone, and welcome into A to Z Sports Dallas Primetime. I am your host, Mauricio Rodriguez, streaming with you live every Sunday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central here on Dallas On Demand Sports Talk Network, and catching up with you guys in between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with quick hitting videos such as this one. And tonight's topic made pretty easy for us via ESPN, because they put together a top 10 ranking of quarterbacks put together by actually going out there and asking NFL coaches, executives, and scouts to rank the best 10 players at every single position. ESPN, or the NFL world, actually decided that Dak Prescott collectively was the 10th best QB in the NFL. Now, let's start this off by hearing what you have to say. Let me know in the comments, should Dak Prescott be ranked higher, lower, or exactly at 10? Let me know, what do you think in the comments. I'll make sure to hop on later tonight and see what you guys think. I'm curious about it. I'm going to say lower. I'm going to say higher. He should be ranked higher. Excuse me. I think the NFL world is out there underestimating Prescott due to the Cowboys' lack of playoff success. But let's break it down little by little, though. What I think is truly outrageous about where Prescott is on this list is not exactly that he's at 10th. I wouldn't be surprised at somebody ranking him outside of the top 15 with the way that QB discourse goes, even within those insiders of the NFL. And you know how these weighted rankings go. If somebody ranks him super low, then obviously he's going to drop in the rankings. What I'm shocked by and what I truly disagree with is that the highest that Prescott was ranked by everyone who voted and participated on ESPN's poll was 7th. In other words, he received 0 top 6 votes among those who participated on this. 0. Because the highest ranking that he got was 7th in the NFL. Not only that, the lowest one was obviously out of the top 10, right? So at least one voter was like, nah, and actually not one voter, because only 63% of the ballots had Dak Prescott in there. So there was a significant amount, and I don't know how many people they interview, but there was a significant amount, almost 30% of voters who said, you know what, Dak doesn't belong in the top 10. Now, this is the same guy that was second team All-Pro last year, who was the runner-up for MVP behind Lamar Jackson in 2023. And not only that, he was second in EPA per play. He was second in success rate, one of the best in completion percentage over expectation as well. I don't remember the exact ranking, but he likely was top 5 because he was top 2 when you merged EPA with CPOE as well. You looked at more detailed passing numbers over at Pro Football Focus. 4th best in big-time throw percentage. 4th best. And big-time throws are defined as tight window, deep throws, as the name implies, big-time throws, right? Like those plays that, oh, damn, that was an absolute dime. Dak was the 4th best QB percentage-wise in that sense. And he wasn't risking the ball to get there either, because out of 41 qualifying QBs, Dak was 35th in turnover-worthy play. So all of that story about Dak turns the ball over too much, right? Everything that stemmed from the 2022 season, all of that was put to bed in 2023. And 2022 sticks out as the exception to Dak Prescott's career in terms of turning the ball over. Now, if you're not into the analytics stuff and you're saying, what is this guy on? You prefer the traditional stats. Third in total yards, and first in touchdowns and completions. 36 passing touchdowns. And yet, no top 6 vote for Dak Prescott. Everyone else in the top 10 received at least one top 6 vote. Now, that includes, and I'm going to show you right now, that includes number 9 on the list, Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions. All due respect to Jared Goff, he's done a fantastic job turning his career around, going from this quarterback that was traded away from the LA Rams because they thought they couldn't win the Super Bowl with them, that he was holding back Sean McVay's offense, goes to the Lions, and then he becomes part of such a successful team with the Lions that is one of the favorites in the NFC going into 2024. Gotta give it to Jared Goff. He's done a fantastic job. Ranked above Dak Prescott, though, I just don't see it. I don't see what is it that Jared Goff does better than Dak. And you might want to hit me back with a trivial answer like, oh, he's won in the playoffs, right? Made one Super Bowl, made one NFC championship game after the Super Bowl that he made. So, hey, there's that, right? But does that have to do more with the teams that he's played with or with the fact that he's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott? Because I would argue it's the latter. Because I would argue, it's the former, the teams that he's played with. I would make that bet in an instant, personally. Because after Jared Goff leaves the Rams go to the Super Bowl and they win it with Matthew Stafford, right? And the Lions have been on the rise consistently under Dan Campbell. And again, I hate to knock on him. It's not what I'm trying to do here, because I think he's awesome and has a cool story in the NFL. But I just don't see, objectively, quarterback-wise, what is it that he does better than Dak Prescott. Now, there might be some things that he does better, but overall, I think Dak has a better accuracy. I think Dak is a better processor of defenses on the field. I think he's got better command in the line of scrimmage. We've heard guys like Aaron Rodgers be like, hey, few guys do what Dak is doing at the line of scrimmage. I don't think Goff is doing that sort of stuff. Now, more names on this list. One is Aaron Rodgers, right? And I think Aaron Rodgers is kind of like in this weird space where you can put him as one of the best QBs in the NFL when healthy. There are also some concerns about the fact that he didn't play at all last year and he's aging and all that. But I'm fine with Aaron Rodgers being ranked above him. This one is also interesting. CJ Stroud, listen, not going to hate on CJ Stroud at all. There were some interesting takes, though. Somebody ranked him as the second best QB in the entire NFL, which I thought was something. CJ Stroud, man, I'm buying into him. Like, I do think he's going to end the season as a top 10 QB. So it's not even that I'm going to hate on CJ Stroud at all. I don't know about ranking him above Dak just yet. And maybe in a matter of years, I will rank him above Dak, because CJ Stroud had perhaps the best quarterback rookie season that I've ever witnessed personally. I think it was honestly a very fine performance from CJ Stroud, as a rookie. And I saw the tape, and you see him just manage the pocket, throw with anticipation, do everything right. I'm not hating CJ Stroud being on the list. I just think it's a little bit wild that you're so confident in Stroud and so convinced as to what Dak Prescott is that you're just willing to rank him above Dak now, even though Dak is fresh off of a second-team All-Pro season, runner-up to the MVP, all that. Justin Herbert is also on the list. Not going to hate it, but I think you can also make the argument that Dak should be above Justin Herbert. And more than anything, it's like I see Justin Herbert on the list, and unlike Matthew Stafford, it's not like Herbert has had the playoff success yet, right? Now, he's been in the NFL much less time, right? But if the argument for not ranking Dak above is that he's not winning the big games in the postseason, and you're confidently placing Justin Herbert at number 6 in the NFL, it's like, what are we doing here? And that's why I clarified, unlike Matthew Stafford, who has been to the Super Bowl, won it, and Matthew Stafford, I always use him as a perfect example as to who are you playing with? Because he is the same guy that played with the Lions, right? He just happened to land on a better team, and now he's being a postseason character who won the Super Bowl, right? So playoff success, it's always about the team. And I know there's been some exceptions to that rule where you have Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl 5 times with the Patriots, going to Tampa Bay and winning it in his first year there. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, but you look at a lot of these guys in the NFL and, man, we cannot be basing our evaluations of QBs on have they won in the playoffs or not. Even though, and I'll clarify this, even though I think the criticism for Dak at this stage is fair as to should we be seeing more quality playoff performances? I think yes. I think the answer to that question is yes. And until proven otherwise, those questions should still pursue Dak Prescott. But to the point where you're not considering him as a top 6 QB in the NFL at all, no one is voting for him in the top 6. People are voting Jared Goff over him. I think that part of it is what's crazy. Now, a couple of quotes here before we leave. NFC executive says, he always does well enough to be in the top 10, but never gets over the hump. He makes all the throws, playing the position at a high level, but something's missing, right? When they're not even telling you what is missing, that tells you a lot. There are a lot of factors in that, from the running game, play calling, defense, and Dallas hasn't won in a long while, but certain guys are going to elevate their team late in the game. Dak doesn't seem to do that. Dak has done that, not in the postseason. Again, that's what it's all about, honestly. Another quote, lacking that high-end ceiling, plays the position really well, not an elite athlete. I think that's fair. And the passer that Mahomes and Allen are, that's also fair. They need to support him in those big matchups. He's really good, but not quite good enough to elevate the entire team in those matchups. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the NFL world is saying about Dak Prescott. I personally think the discourse is not entirely fair, which should be no surprise to anybody who has followed Cowboys football in a good while. But what about you? Do you think Dak Prescott should be ranked higher? Do you think he should be ranked lower? Personally, I wouldn't drop him from 7th on the list, because in a heartbeat, I would put Dak above Jared Goff. I would put Dak above CJ Stroud, at least for now. I would consider putting him above Matthew Stafford. So we're at 6 now. I think Dak is a top 6 QB in the NFL, at least. There's an argument to be made that he could be even higher on that ranking. 6 or 7, I think, is a sweet spot for Dak Prescott, though. Let me know what you think in the chat, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.